person is disconnected. Well, I guess he's gonna connect very soon. So welcome to this. This is edition number 14, I think, of the book club. So I guess some other people will connect a little bit later. We always have connection issues that happens every day. But today we are talking about the strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So, Ruby, did you read the whole book?
Hi, Diana.
Hello.
Yes, I have read the book.
You read the whole book, okay. Did you find it easy or difficult?
Well, I find a little bit difficult
Okay.
because the way
Mm-hmm.
we use the word.
Yeah, I agree. That is why I'm asking, because I find it very difficult actually. So, Ricardo, did you find the book difficult?
I think it was different because I read the book the first time in Spanish a couple of years ago. So rereading it in English was completely different in the sense of it kind of sounded more profound, but at the same time it wasn't as smooth to read as it was in Spanish back then because the words were different.
Yeah, actually, I find it very difficult. I have to be honest. I thought it would be a lot faster, and I read it in Spanish at the end. Hello.
Hello.
Coming to the book club or the conversation club?
The conversation club.
Ah, okay, it's in there.
Sí.
Yes.
¿Cómo es por acá?
You know, we
No,
have
pero
many-
ya va. ¿Qué es esto? ¿Qué pasó? ¿No era contigo?
the conversation club today. No,
No,
today I have the book club.
de lectura,
Ajá, lectura.
contigo.
Ajá.
¿Y allá qué hay?
Otro club de conversación. Did you read the book?
No.
But did you come to the
Ese WhatsApp
conversation?
me tiene loca, ¿oíste?
Okay, we'll take it in consideration.
Gracias.
Okay. Well, we are only people, but still the rules as always. First, this book club is English flexible. We are supposed to start interventions in English, and if needed, use Spanish to add details. Everyone's opinion counts, and the meeting will begin promptly and end no later than 4 p.m. Probably, to respect everyone's time. And the space must be left clean. This is only for the people that are present here. So, as always, we start talking similar word, but I think this is a bit different. A
Wow.
makeover, we can say.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So about the author,
Just it.
About the author, in 2018 he was ranked just behind Charles Dickens as the 26th most translated author in the world, after Charles Dickens. So good. And something that I found interesting, an apology for idlers or ociosos. He said something like, a happy man or woman is a better thing to find than a £5 note, like a $5 bill. He or she is a radiating focus of goodwill. If they cannot be happy in the handicap race for 6 penny pieces, let them take their own by road. This is because he didn't have like a job, a formal job, and people was like, okay, you're not doing anything, so he wrote this for the idler, para los ociosos. So he was like, if you are not happy in the handicap race, what we call it now, like the rat race, well, don't do it. Of course, he had money, so that's not for everyone. And at 22, he didn't believe anymore. He didn't believe in God anymore. And their
He wasn't 22 in the picture.
it was around 22 in the picture. I have a picture, well, I don't have
He
it
looks
here.
old.
When he was 30 and he was older, so yes, he was 22 at that time. So he didn't believe in God, and their mother, his mother and his father were devastated. And he said something like, "Oh Lord, what a pleasant thing to have just damped the happiness of probably only 2 people who care a damn about you in the world." So he was a rebel. I put this because I found it interesting with the book that we are reading. So, into the book. You already read the book. Rudy read the book. Did you read the book? No.
No, sorry. For me, maybe it's amazing to talk about the disorder, about personality. It's interesting. And we have a comic about the guy.
Yeah, we have adaptations.
You remember about the comic, the Venezuelan comic, the name Charles
Barry.
he have a play, he have a comic about that. In the en español, Radio Rochelle. It's the change about personality.
Yes.
Mr.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Hyde, another person.
Okay.
But it's the most important, interesting situation about the criminal law, about criminal, because a lot of maybe 5 change of the personality.
Okay.
It's amazing.
I have to Google the Radio Rochela thing about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But for the ones who don't know the book, Miss Guadalupe that doesn't know the book, well, it's about a lawyer that investigates his friend, Dr. Jekyll, because there is something like mysterious around him. And around a man, an evil man called Mr. Hyde. So Mr. Hyde commits a brutal murder, and then everyone is like seeing this connection between the Dr. Jekyll, who is a very respectful man, and this Mr. Hyde that is evil. And at the end of the novella, the truth is revealed with a confession of Dr. Jekyll. So he made a scientific experiment and he divided himself into his good side and his bad side. So that is this story about. He had like these 2 personalities. Sometimes he was Mr. Jekyll and he was well respected and a doctor and kind man and friend and everything. And then you had Mr. Hyde. Okay, so let's start with the question. In the first place, well, Jekyll in the novel states that man is not truly one but 2. Do you agree with this of human nature? that man is not truly one but two?
I would say yes, because at the end of the day, even though we're the same person, we are alchemy, we are connected to as above, so below, as within, so without. So you can be a good person for many, or you can also be a bad person for others. It depends on perspective, it depends on your mood, it depends on what other principles have the other people.
Okay. What do you think? Do you believe everyone has like a good self and an evil self, or two different parts, not necessarily good or evil, but do you think we can be like divided?
In this moment, we have a lot of discussion about the different chains of personality. It's the most important situation when we talk about narcissism.
Yes,
In
thank
this,
you.
maybe everyone will have a good bad situation, but in that novel so open is that we have a lot of study about that situation. Maybe it's mainly talking about student about the change of personality about narcissism.
Okay, especially with narcissists. Okay, that's interesting. Ruby, do you think that is true that a man is not truly one but two?
I have a question. What means
Hard. In this case, in this context, it's like half.
yes, well, yes,
How many persons are there inside the script? Three. No, we are on. There is no. Ricardo, how many persons? How many people there are inside the script?
I feel like this is a technical issue because I cannot hear you on the I can hear you, but really low. Let me see if I can fix this. Can you speak, Ruby, just to check? Let me see. Yes, let me see. Okay. Now? Can you speak it? Why cannot you see?
Is there something wrong with the speaker?
Now? Okay, better. Yeah, I can hear you too, but I rather listen to you through the speaker because it's easier to understand. Okay, perfect. I think it's not even one, maybe more than two, maybe we can be more than two because as Ricardo said, it depends on the perspective. And once I heard that a different version of us lives in every person we have met, and that is something like interesting because everyone sees you in a different way. So I think we can have many versions sometimes. Okay, I have this next question. Jekyll sought to separate his darker side to live without moral restraint in the next slide. If you could isolate and eliminate the part of you that you don't like, would you do it?
I don't think it works that way.
You
another profile like illness people. About
Illness, like
Ill
what?
people.
Like,
Maybe when we talk about that, is maybe sometimes it's illness mental.
mental illness.
Maybe when the father he give that boy, the boys, he give a lot of that. He give money. He gets a lot of doing to do everything. That situation changes about personality. Maybe I try to remember about that. Maybe the first Jekyll, he was a doctor,
Doctor,
a
yes.
good person,
A good person.
and Jekyll is a devil person, a chance of people. But maybe I remember he take a pill, he take a drug.
Yes.
A drug. In that situation, maybe he depends on the take the pill
It depends on the field.
for the state, your stability, your mood, your emotion. But
Somehow.
we have a lot of study about that. We have a lot of study about that in opera. So opera is
Yes.
about the change of personality. Maybe we have more about 5 cases or type of the narcissist.
Okay, but it was very interesting that beyond the psychology part that I don't know a lot about, this book allows you to fantasize about how it would be to like separate one part of you from the other part. So I think that is what's interesting. I just noticed Ruby and Jose that just connected that they didn't put the usual questions that I always put.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Yeah, who are you? Yes, I forgot the question because I just did this like yesterday, so
Who are
that
you?
is why.
Maybe who are you?
Yeah.
Jekyll or Hyde?
Well, according to the book, we are a little bit of both, but most of the time, I think we are more than like Dr. Jekyll. I think. Do you think Dr. Jekyll is truly responsible for the actions of Mr. Hyde?
No,
No.
I don't think he's responsible because at the end of the day, Mr. Hyde acts on impulse and Dr. Jekyll acts on rationality. So he always thinks things through, and Mr. Hyde was always like on edge, right? So at the end of the day, yeah, he might happen to murder someone, but it doesn't necessarily have to be directly or connected to Dr. Jekyll. It was an impulse. He basically got mad and he decided to kill the person.
Okay.
But
What
when
do
you
you
got
think?
mad and you're a good person, you don't necessarily get a gun and shoot him.
Yeah, usually we try not to.
We try not to.
Ruby, Jose, what do you think?
I think Mr. Jekyll or Dr. Jekyll was, I don't know if it's the word, but blinded by his curiosity, sesgada.
Okay,
I don't know how
bias.
to say that.
Bias.
Blind.
Yeah.
Okay, that thing. But I think he was taking a curiosity, but I don't think he's really responsible for that. He only let his part, his evil part, let free.
Okay, that is a good point. But I think like Dr. Jekyll let Mr. Hyde out. Like he freed Mr. Hyde, so I don't know. I think he didn't know Mr. Hyde, his dark side was so dangerous, but he freed him.
I don't think anyone in life know how dangerous can be our outside. Because talking in my own very experience, I always thought I could be able to harm anybody. But then I had a moment in a situation where I was completely on edge and I slapped someone's face.
Okay.
It's not that I feel proud, although he deserved it, but it was something that I couldn't know, I didn't tell. For me, I will always bet of not being capable of,
But
what
I
happened.
think,
And that was an impulse.
yeah, but if you had like the chance of freeing evil Ricardo, I guess you at least for a moment would think, okay, yes, I have this chance, but what would evil Ricardo do? Let me think about it for a moment before freeing him.
I think I could murder people.
Then you should free him.
Yeah, I should.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Dr. Jekyll responsible for Mr. Hyde?
Maybe I speak about my case, I am lawyer. In that situation, it's important to know that person becoming a crime is when you have a question. Do you remember that situation? Do you remember when you killed that person?
Okay.
When the people didn't remember about that, maybe he suffered an inner madness because he didn't remember. But in that case, if you take a pill and
It's
after
like taking
you
a
kill
drug.
people,
It's like taking a drug that makes you unconscious. If you take a drug and commit a crime, you're still guilty. Even if you don't remember like the best case scenario, you should go to, I don't know, to another place different than jail, but it's their responsibility. He took the pill. He took the pill.
I had a case, similar situation. The most important situation when we talk about the doctor, when he questioned, he made a question about.
I don't know if
Do
they can hear you.
you remember when you beat that person? In that case, that person says, see, I remember that. I beat because everything.
Uh-huh.
But when you don't remember that situation, is when you don't have responsibility because maybe you have or you suffer illness mental.
Okay, a mental illness. Okay. Then, okay, that's interesting. I was thinking about the drug thing, but if we consider this like a mental illness, then he wouldn't have the responsibility.
But in this case, you take
He took a pill.
you
Yeah.
take a pill or you take a bottle.
Yes.
You commit the crime, you commit the crime. You are responsible.
You're responsible. Okay. So, yes, Jose, something to add?
Oh yes, I think he's completely responsible because he decided to open the Pandora box.
Yes.
You are so cool about that.
Yeah, and he did it more than
We
once.
say in Spanish, curiosity can kill
The
the
cat.
cat was and his curiosity.
Yes, that is right. Because he did it more than once. I mean, he took the potion and became Mr. Hyde, and he was like relieved from that bad side of him. And he took it again. He thought he could handle it, but he took it again. So, in this case, Jekyll found this.
No? I think the problem is the alcohol. Some people will drink alcohol because it's a
Yes.
and they start behaving and drink that.
Okay, yeah. Yes, Ruby?
Well, I was reading the book. I think he wanted to prove the theory to the other doctor that I don't remember the name, Lanyon.
That, yes.
I only think he was just trying to discover a scientific way to separate the part of the soul. And I always think that or thought that he worked only for curiosity, not for being evil.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to be evil, but it wasn't just curiosity. I think he wanted to let his bad side out. In this case, he found like this perverse pleasure in being Mr. Hyde as a release from the structures of society. Now, in our modern world, what are the primary ways people seek to release from social expectations? Is there something people do to release from social expectation nowadays?
I don't think so. I mean, you could practice detachment, but what else is there?
I don't know, I was thinking something about like going to the gym or something, but not to release from social expectation, but to release Mr. Hyde to
Yeah.
keep them under.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello, so we have one less participant online and one more participant in present. Okay. But one thing that you already said, people take alcohol and people take other substance just to be released from social expectation
But
when you are
alcohol
drinking.
doesn't release that. It doesn't help you release that.
Depende.
It feels a void. Okay, you can drink alcohol and then you are completely drunk, and most men that I have heard of that get drunk that way end up assaulting women on the street. So, does it actually help you? I don't think so, man.
Yeah, but they release you from social expectation because maybe being sober they wouldn't dare to do what they do while they are drunk.
It's about the
Okay,
possibility.
try me. What I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, substance is only temporary. It won't fix you.
Okay.
You know, so it actually doesn't help you release. It helps you contain.
But that's not the question.
Okay.
That's the answer. Yes.
No.
Okay. Well, the next question was just about that. Like, does engaging in negative or destructive behavior,
Thank
even
you.
in
I know
secret,
stuff.
inherently make us less capable of goodness? If we release or we let ourselves be evil sometimes or be, does that make us less capable of goodness?
Wait, can you repeat the question?
Okay, we don't have it in the screen. Like, does engaging in negative or destructive behavior make us less capable of goodness?
I think no. If you're conscious about it.
If
But
you're-
engaging in or being in destructive behaviors by not accepting that you are engaging in that can totally make you feel be a bad person, even though you try not to.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, it's your nature. You're like feeling that part of you.
Okay, I think this book focuses too much on good and evil, and more than in different parts of human being, like just different parts, not with a tag that says good or bad. But for example, people who feel they need to drink in order to dance in a party, for example. I don't know if for those people who are always dancing in parties under the influence of alcohol would dance more easily than other people that never dance, being sober. Like that would help, like, okay, if I didn't drunk and nothing happened, maybe I can do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, substance can definitely help you to release some pressure, okay? Or maybe not. Maybe it is a placebo effect. We don't know that. I haven't read or searched papers about it, so I can actually not say that for sure. But one thing that I know is that you can have fun without drinking alcohol or party. You can dance if you want to dance, because at the end of the day, it depends on the goodwill and free will that the person
You
has.
make a negotiation with all of the parts of you.
Yeah, I mean, the other day I was in a party with a friend of mine, and I don't normally go to parties because I don't like to sleep late at night. It's 10 p.m. and I'm normally tucked in bed.
Okay.
So, but this week in particular, I have been sleeping later because I have been watching more shows or
Because
movies
you're on
at
holiday,
home.
you don't have to
Because I'm
wake up
on
early.
holidays and I can wake up
That's
later.
a chance to remind us that
Yeah,
it's free.
because I'm having so much free time to do so much. But the thing is that I can even go past midnight. I mean, it is 11:30 and I'm already like, "Ugh." So I went to this party and I didn't want to drink much. I drank like 2 cups of sangria, something like that. And my friend was like every 15 minutes or so asking me, "But are you okay? Are you having a good time?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am. I'm talking to people.
Yeah,
That's what I actually need. I don't need drugs or alcohol to have a good time."
Yeah, I think sometimes people see it as so normal that it's
It is
just
normal.
weird if you are not drinking or you are not drinking that much. It's just strange.
I asked for water and there was no water.
I
in the
know,
party.
I know.
And I was like,
I remember one time at college with my teachers, and they were like, "Do you want?" And I was like, "No." They didn't offer me anything else during the party, like anything else.
yeah, like you want water? No, there's rum.
For me, my opinion, that case, it's important how do you feel that day. Maybe with a lot of people, we have a lot of problem. Maybe when you take alcohol, maybe that situation, maybe maybe a lot of people come
Buy wine.
crying, or maybe about that.
But if people get,
It's important.
that is something interesting. Like if people react to alcohol with violence or with doing something wrong, like was that always a part of them? Because I don't know, I feel like good people, decent people, even if they drank alcohol, they wouldn't do something bad. They wouldn't like to hurt anybody, even if they have drank. But I don't know, if somebody gets violence with alcohol, it's like revealing their true self, because
But
it takes away the
there's
inhibition.
I think it is called Freud. Yeah, I think it is Freud, and he describes that every person, every human being has 2 pulsations. So we
Okay.
have the bad pulsation, the aggressive one, and the passive one. Okay?
I'm
So,
not a fan of Freud, but yeah.
well, he described that in psychology. Thank you.
Yes, I know, but
I didn't ask you for. Thank you for the
Okay.
input that I didn't deserve. So anyhow, he expressed that we have 2 impulses, and one of them being the aggressive one. And normally, that impulse is for us to get defensive. So we can actually be mindful about our boundaries, so we can actually be aware of what we like, what we don't like, so that kind of stuff. So being aggressive doesn't actually mean that I'm gonna hit you in the face until you
Okay.
get blood in the street or something like that. It's more about, this is what I'm going to tolerate and this is not something
Okay.
that I'm going to enjoy.
So we have to learn how to live with our Mr. Hyde, because Mr. Hyde is there for a reason.
Yes.
And then we shouldn't be trying to,
I think
or
the
it's coming
problem,
out in the worst
I think the
moment.
problem is when you don't accept your Mr. High side,
Okay.
like the bad side that you have, like you don't embrace it or you don't accept it, then you lose control and you can no longer regulate the pressure that it has. Because if our aggressive impulse is there to actually be wary or defend ourselves from any harm from the outside, why are we allowing the Mr. High side to actually be there as a contra opponent and attack
Okay.
instead of the defense or well-being?
That's a good point.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm smart today.
Those are the vacations. You have
I
time to,
had time to think.
you have time to think. Well, I have this question about reputation. Because the story talks a lot about the importance of reputation. Like Peterson was very, very worried about Dr. Jekyll's reputation. Do we in modern society still create masks or alternative people online or public to hide aspects of ourselves we fear judgment for?
Yes.
Okay, that was very fast.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very long question. Do we still create masks to hide aspects of ourselves
Yes.
that we fear judgment for, that we think are gonna be judged?
Yes.
Yes, I know you said yes. I heard you the first 3 times.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes, a lot. For example,
I think nowadays
now
it's not
our
so
society,
bad. Society.
has evolution.
Has
Evolution
uh-huh.
in different ways. For example, about the género.
Genre.
Now we accept all kind of gender.
Uh-huh.
Many years ago, when I was a child, wow, it's a big it was a big problem inside the family, and the people suffer a lot because
Yeah.
can
I was thinking of that nowadays, yes, still yes, but it's not as bad as before. Because, for example, what you say about the genre is, I don't know, 100 years ago you were a woman, but you were like more intense or bossy or something. You were like pushed back. And nowadays you can be a little bit more yourself without being judged and having your personality. But in the past, you were expected something very specific of you. So yes, okay. What other masks do we have nowadays?
I think I don't remember your name, sorry.
Frank.
Was
He
saying
didn't say it.
yeah. You didn't ask us. Thank
I
you.
know. Frank, Guadalupe, Ismael, Ricardo, Ruby, and Jose are connected in here. Ruby, Jose, and
Frank was saying at the beginning that he has dealt, or that the story reminds him of narcissistic people. I think nowadays we take the term of narcissism very lightly, like we can find people that doesn't really care about our stuff and we already call them
yeah,
narcissists.
you watch yourself in the mirror. I'm so narcissist.
Exactly, we take the term lightly, but there are definitely people that actually wear masks to simulate stuff that is actually not happening in their life because they need that cognitive dissonance in order to actually feel present about their life and not let their lives don't come in misery. So nowadays we can find people like that. We also have a mask about conformism. I think nowadays in Venezuela we have many people out there that are getting conformed by situations that are normalized today, but they shouldn't be normalized. Like, I mean, an easy example, how the dollar and the monetary exchange is going. That shouldn't be normal. Why are we conforming? Like, why is anybody not saying anything? I mean, it shouldn't be happening.
Okay, we can complain about that later. Yes, I can complain a lot about that.
We need a club just to cry.
That's a crime.
A cry club.
A crime club in English.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We are going to take note of that. We're gonna have a crime. Yeah, I think those are all masks and are like to protect ourselves. Like narcissists probably are having this mask to protect something in them because usually, like psychologically, what they do is like being victimized if they feel attacked. So it's a way to. And yes, it's always to protect yourself.
Maybe that person is so important because it's about how can I say about the illness, about the ego.
Yeah.
A lot of people. That situation when we talk about bullying. when we talk about gaslighting, it's about that situation. In that case, I think it's not necessary to take a drug, pill, for to
Express.
express
Yes.
your
But you
side,
have to
your
learn
side.
how. Your height.
In that situation, it's amazing because we have a lot of people that suffer illness about narcissism.
Yes.
That's so open. It's a open mind about a lot of students,
Yeah.
the different nationality. Y maybe was born about the mask, the situation of
Well,
when
that
you
is
hide
still
the
an extreme
personality.
situation. Like that is because that is literally something really bad in your head. But still, healthy people, normal people, everyday people, do they usually have masks to hide things? Because I think yes. The last question is this a necessary part of social life? I remember just yesterday or the day before, I was in the bus and Mrs. next to me was having like the most toxic conversations ever on WhatsApp, like with more than one people. I was like, but on the outside she was like a normal lady, like an everyday lady you could see anywhere, but on her phone was like, oh my god. And I saw her. She was on the side writing like half a smile on her face, like she was enjoying insulting other people, and I was like, so I think yes, there's things that people hide.
I think we
don't
all
know
wear
if
a mask at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because most people need a mask in their house because they need to use a profile, a character they created for their mom, for their dad, or for their siblings.
Yes.
Most people use masks at their workplace because they cannot be able to actually insult
Yeah.
people in their workplace.
Yeah, I
because
have
they
a
need-
friend today that told me that she had a problem because she breathed too hard. Like somebody was yelling at her and she was like, and her boss was like, go breathe like that to your house. Like, it was like, oh my god, she just, that was everything.
Inhale, exhale.
That was everything.
But that happens because
Yes.
you cannot be completely transparent, because at the end of the day, for you to be completely transparent, you need people that can be transparent with you too. And that doesn't happen normally.
Yeah. But is this a necessary part of a social life, or is just the world we created? Is this really necessary?
I don't
Do
think
you
it could
imagine a
be,
world where
but
we can
maybe,
be completely honest?
I don't think it could be possible to not wear masks anymore, but I don't think we're gonna be able to, because at the end of the day, we need some mask in order to actually maintain certain image of ourselves.
Yes.
Like, I can be completely transparent with Ismael. He's a friend of mine. And I am with Diana because we have been working for 3 years, almost
Yeah.
4 now. I don't know. But they know a lot about my life, and they know even what happens at me at home, at my friendship groups or whatever. But I know for sure that even though maybe Isma or Diana come to me with a story about what happened at their place or whatever, it's never gonna be the same because they are also not completely as transparent as I am normally. So sometimes we decide to take things with ourselves, but mostly because we know that it will ruin the image or the mask. So it's every unconscious.
Yes.
Maybe
It's part of our behavior.
maybe in network, no? Maybe in business. We need to
Yeah,
take-
I was
we
thinking of
need
that
to take
diplomacy.
full
I
transparency.
hate diplomacy. It
Yeah.
feels bad to me. It's like,
Like you know they are doing something wrong, but you cannot say anybody because that's your boss. What are you gonna do?
yeah.
Get fired?
But sometimes I think it's not, we don't always have masks, but have different versions of ourselves. And you can be like one person with your family and one person with your friends and one person with at your job play, but sometimes they are not masks. They are just different parts of yourself,
Yeah,
and they are all true.
I agree.
So sometimes,
I think it's necessary to have this, I would say, profiles maybe. Like I have this, this version of myself that I share with these people and this that I share with other people. But the important part is for you to keep your principles, your core ideas, and to have them intact. So even if you are with these people and these people, if you have your core beliefs true to yourself and you stay true to yourself, you will be fine even if you show some part to them and some other part to them.
Yeah.
At the end, you
yeah,
are you.
because it's not a completely different
Yes,
person. It's
you're
just
still you.
slightly different.
And we are evolving. I mean, we are not the same person that we were yesterday or a week ago or a year ago.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, not.
Yeah.
Because we are always evolving, we are learning new stuff, we are trying to make amends, we are trying to break some cycles. So, we're in a process of our own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're lucky, we're improving. If we
Yeah.
are not lucky, we're getting worse. I know people who's getting worse, so that happens too. What do you think is the deeper meaning of the fear that Mr. Hyde provokes in characters like Utterson and Enfield? Because nobody seemed to know what was wrong about his appearance, but everyone felt like a strange fear of him. Why?
Good question.
Do you think they saw, I don't know, they kind of sensed that they had like a Hyde-like side themselves? That could be like the reason. They saw.
Maybe for
Their
me,
own
it's
dark
not
side.
clear that situation because he take a pill, he take a drug.
Uh-huh,
But in the normal situation,
uh-huh.
I think it's more credible. Credible the situation when you feel when you don't have intoxication in your body.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
But in this moment, I think we have a lot of problem about that situation. About salary, about lifestyle, about business, about work. Every situation is maybe we have a lot of people that he make or he do gaslighting. He make what do you think about that? It's amazing and moving in another culture, in another country, when maybe I don't know, it's an illness mental, but
Mental illness.
Mental illness, but when the person he take a gun and kill other people, maybe
Probably, I would call it that way. I don't know. The thing is that I think about mental illness, the definition or the way to tell apart a mental illness from a situation, I think is if this situation doesn't let you have a normal life, then it is considered an illness. That is like the definition that I have in my head. But that's the difference between being sad and being depressed. If you're sad for a situation, for something that happened, for a time, that's normal. But if you have this condition that doesn't allow you to live your life as that, then it is a mental situation. That's the definition I heard a few years ago.
I think that the deepest fear that happens with Mr. Hyde is that we project, right? So the fear of seeing someone as evil or as bad is not because we think they're gonna harm us. It's mostly because we know that maybe we have those impulses too, but we don't want to become that.
We fear that
It
would
could
I
be
do
us.
that?
Yeah.
It could be us. Okay. Yeah, I put the worst picture ever, but of course it's terrifying. With the picture I put, of course it was terrifying. But I think yes, I think when they saw them, they couldn't see why he looks so bad. And for me, it's like they identified their own bad side in Mr. Hyde. So at the end of the day, one final words. What do you think is the moral of this story? Is there something that you learned about this story?
Maybe we have a different change of personality, everyone.
Okay.
It's important to take of the content in that situation.
Yes.
Maybe in this moment we have a different situation. Maybe a lot of depression, maybe, but we have a different change of personality.
Okay. I found it interesting that Mr. Hyde was weak at the beginning, and then he was a little bit stronger. So if we want to do something
He
that
had free
is
will.
bad,
He was not content.
yes, but physically he became stronger. So it is like if you do something that, I don't know, the first time is very difficult to do. You do something, but you lie to someone. You never lie, but you lie to someone, and it is difficult, and you are nervous, and you feel bad. But then you do it again, and it's a little bit easier.
Yes.
And if you get used to doing some things, it's gonna be easier every time, and it's not gonna be a big deal after a while. That is, I think, with good things and with bad things.
Yes.
But
It's a
with-
practice.
It's a practice, but with Mr. Hyde, it was very evident that at the beginning he was like very, but at the end he was like stronger, like physically stronger, and Dr. Jekyll was a little bit weaker. So I found that interesting. I think
that happens because when we talk about energy, one consumes the other. So if you have like more light, then the darkness is thinner. But if you have more darkness, whatever you see in the light is gonna shine, even though it is small, but you need more room for it to shine brighter. So
Okay.
I think that happens with the characters too. And one of the things that I get from the story is the quote that I talked to you about, like all human beings, and we meet them, are commonly out of good and evil. Because as human beings, we are imperfect, but we are trying to seek, in theory, balance. So maybe that's the alchemy that we need to do.
okay.
I remember when I stood in that situation, where sometimes a lot of people say that is a false situation, it's a false theory, and another say that situation is true. About when we talk about that, about the history, maybe the last situation about that is maybe is true, that situation.
Okay. Any final words, Jose, Ruby, about this book? Okay. Any final words before presenting the next book?
I think it's interesting how throughout the story, first we are led to believe that obviously these are two separate people. At the end we know that they are only one. But even when they know the truth, even when, for example, I think was the
Alanio.
Yes, I always yes. Even when he knew everything that the truth, he was still like, okay.
Why did he die? I don't remember.
Which one?
Lanio.
I don't think he died.
He died. He
No, I don't think he
He
died.
doesn't
No.
die.
Oh,
No.
I thought he died. Okay, forget. Forget.
I don't think you're at the book.
Don't worry, don't
I
worry
need
about
as
that.
well.
Don't
Yeah.
worry.
But basically, throughout the story, we have seen these two personas separately, and at the end, obviously, we all know, even though we knew from the start that they were one. But I don't think the characters even realized, many of them didn't know. Obviously, at the end, they simply thought that Jekyll was one person and Mr. Hyde was the other one. But I don't even think they connected the dots, not even with the writing, not even with the physical appearance, because even though obviously they look different, but it was still the same. It was just like
They had other things, they had lives.
true.
It was only Utterson that was like,
Yeah.
Okay. So, for next month, well, I decided to pick a very easy book because it's November. And November is almost December. And December is a very busy month. So I don't know about you, but December is a very busy. I have like 2 events to hold, and I have a concert and competitions.
You don't
and
want to work
stuff.
anymore.
But I assume that anybody wants to work. You don't want to work right now. So this is the next book that is already in the digital library. The Happy Prince and Other Tales by Oscar Wilde. This is a very short book, like 75 pages, and it's about 5 different stories. It's a collection of bedtime stories for children by Oscar Wilde. So it contains The Happy Prince, The Nightingale and the Roses, The Selfish Giant, The Devoted Friend, and The Remarkable Rocker. So you can read like one every week before going to bed, because these are bedtime books, bedtime stories. And then we can discuss their morals and what the story is about in November, the last Thursday of November, happily. And yes, this is a book. We are not voting this time because last Christmas we learned Charles Dickens, and whoa, it was complicated. Well, the story was very famous. We already knew it, but it was complicated. So, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to everyone who connected, and thank you for being here. And we'll see you next month. So remember, go to the digital library and download the book. So, bye, Jose. I see Ruby disconnected. I think it was the connection because she wasn't here. Bye.
Bye. Diane, how about the next room?
Got no idea.
It was empty
Isabel no tenía creo que conversación.
tomorrow.
As long as I know, the other conversation club was every 2 Fridays at 3 p.m. But I don't know why they were talking about Thursday. I have no idea.
Tomorrow with Isabella. Tomorrow,
I think-
twice per month. Right?
Yes.
Twice per month.
Yeah. So,
Tomorrow we are 3 o'clock.
but see, you talk about the book. At least you talk about the book.
I promise to read.
It's very short, yes. Read it. Read it.
Realmente sí te ves menos cansado.